The number of victims could be staggering. The Dallas Police Department continues to find possible murder victims in a serial murderer investigation. Police arrested Billy Shamirmir after he allegedly suffocated an 81-year-old woman and then stole her jewelry. But since then, they've been analyzing more than 700 cases to see how many of them might be linked. News 8's Rebecca Lopez has been following this investigation. Rebecca, has Dallas ever had this kind of an investigation of this magnitude involving something like this?
They've had other serial killer cases, but none like this. It's pretty amazing. My sources say that the number of victims could actually number into the double digits. As News 8 first reported yesterday, the medical examiner's office in Dallas Homicide exhumed the body of an elderly woman at Restland Cemetery. They took her body out of a mausoleum and did an autopsy. My sources say the family was there while they did this. The victim was placed back in the mausoleum. Sources say this victim's jewelry was pawned a few days after her death. Police in 4 cities have been reviewing cases to see if elderly women died of natural or unexplained causes and their jewelry missing. Billy Shamirmir, as you just said, is the suspect in this case. He was arrested in March after Dallas police say he murdered 81-year-old Lou Kim Harris. They say she was suffocated and her jewelry stolen. We've been talking to several families who believe their loved ones were killed by him. Many are now coming forward and asking the Dallas Police Department to review their cases.
Well, I'm really curious. So how difficult this is going to be for police? Some of these victims have been dead for a long time.
It's going to be very difficult because they believe that most of these victims were suffocated with a pillow and the remains are old, so it's going to be very difficult for them to tell. So they're going back and seeing if jewelry was missing, then trying to track it to pawn shops and places that buy gold. And then they have to determine from pawn shop slips and receipts if Shamirmir was the one who brought the items. And my sources say there are multiple pawn shops they've already visited, and it's just a huge undertaking. I mean, just a lot of manpower.
All right. Thanks a lot, Rebecca. Appreciate the report.